Hey everyone, and welcome to the Infinite Respawn podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Griff.
I'm Baka.
What up? How is
How's
everybody?
it going?
Everyone's well. Everyone's swell.
Getting ready to be festive.
Sorta.
you know?
Festive.
Festive. You
You're
know, there's a
almost.
holiday coming up or something.
You're already festive, Griff. Look at your little Christmas
Yeah,
hat.
no, I got Christmas packages right up here.
They're tiny. They're like little Hershey Kiss presents.
They look tiny from the angle, but they're not.
Too funny.
Yes, this is the last, by the way, in case you haven't looked at a calendar or anything. This is the last show for 2017 for us.
Yay.
Because we will not be here on Christmas Eve or New Year's. Is New Year's Eve on Sunday?
New
It
Year's
is.
Eve, yeah, because that's the day I leave to Florida.
I wasn't
so
sure
yes.
if that was New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. Apparently, I also need to look at the calendar.
Yeah, there's a calendar on your computer. You can go ahead and take
Christmas.
a look at.
Oops.
Fun fact: Christmas Day and New Year's Day are 1
Are
week apart.
No
Yes,
way.
thank you.
How did you come up
Thank
with
you.
that?
I know, it's craziness.
It's almost like they're 7 days apart. But yeah,
That's
we'll
true.
get into
Leap year too. No, I'm just kidding. I can't be that dumb willfully. I just can't do it. Well, so
Willfully.
since it's our last episode of the year, we got a lot of fun stuff and everything. But we'll just start off normally. What games have you guys been playing this week? Things that we can't talk about. But other than that,
yeah, we got one we can't talk about.
Masters,
But
PUBG. I actually played a little bit of Hearthstone, the Kobolds and Catacombs.
oh, was that fun? I
It's
like the
alright.
commercial. It's Matt Mercer, so.
It has nothing to do with Matt Mercer.
But the commercial is.
Yeah, the
I love all of
commercial
the
is.
Hearthstone ads. They're so great. I don't play the game, but I love the ads. I wanted to know like what the content is like. So yes, good.
Yeah, I mean, it's instead of like using one of your pre-constructed decks, they go, okay, well, here's kind of a pre-constructed deck, and then you get to add on to it as you beat the bosses. So
That's
like,
kinda cool.
Like I went through and I think I beat like 6 of the bosses, something like that. And then the other one got, was like, you know what? I'm tired of beating up my buddies, and just completely wrecked me.
Yeah,
That's
it
the one
happens
that you've
a
been
lot.
playing, isn't it, Chicken? Then.
Yes. It's
Okay.
It makes it so that anybody that wants to play Hearthstone can go ahead and get into it. There's no prerequisite to it. You don't have to own any cards. You don't have to do anything. Everything is given to you.
Okay.
So you pick
That's
a
good.
class, and then you get the basic cards, and then when you beat the boss, you get a treasure, which modifies your deck, and then you get to pick 3 random cards out of 3 sets. And then you play the next boss. You beat him. You get to pick 3 more cards out of 3 choices. And so on and so on and so on until you get another treasure, which modifies your deck even further. And you pick 3 cards, and goes on and on and on until you lose.
Which would be in the first game for me.
No, the first one you either face a giant rat or a wee whelpling, as they like to call it.
Oh.
I've only ever faced a
giant
rat.
I haven't faced. I think they said there's 48 bosses,
Good God.
and that you go through 8. The first two is either the
variety.
giant rat or the wee whelpling, and then the next, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 can be arranged differently, and their hero powers change accordingly. Like if they're one of the further bosses, instead of their hero power costing 2, it'll cost nothing, and then they'll just roll on your face real quick, and you have to have specific strategies to beat them. Like one of them makes it so that every minion he puts down has charge instantly. So he just drops a minion, hits you in the face. Drops a minion, hits you in the face again.
Yeah, no, there was one that I fought that wrecked me really, really bad. Like, he starts off the match with, like, 4...
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, the 4 little minion dudes, and they're, like, 15 attack and, like, 5 defense.
What?
And by turn 3, he got something to where he could attack with all of them. He was just like, boom, 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 you're dead.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell am I supposed to do with that?
The best
Change your
thing-
strategy.
Yeah, pretty much. You gotta kind of, and that's kind of the fun of it, is you don't know exactly what bosses you're gonna get, so it's always a little like, oh, okay, I need to be able to play like this with my deck to beat this guy, otherwise he's just gonna beat my ass. There's also 2 really fun ones. It's a volcano and a maze. Like those are the bosses. One of them's like every time you cast a spell, it summons a buzzsaw. So then it summons out a buzzsaw, and there are traps and all of these other things, and you've got to try and figure out a way to handle the opponent so that you could beat him. But
But my opponent is a maze. What do I do?
you got to try and figure out your way around it. But they did a really good job.
Bring
It's
out
super
the hedge
interesting.
clippers.
Or a ladder.
A
Climb
ladder.
up
you
to the
go.
top.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, it's super interesting and easy to get into for anybody. I mean, you don't lose anything for losing. So
What else? What else you guys been playing?
I actually, because I told Wraithub that I would, I went ahead and got PUBG on Xbox. And yeah, I'm going to wait for them to optimize that a little bit. Because I played one match. I actually played it this morning because I went ahead and downloaded it last night. And I had a friend of mine that we used to play Game of War together. And he was like, do you have PUBG on Xbox? And I was like, no, but I plan on getting it. So I'll just go ahead and get it. And oh my God, like... It's so different. It needs to be optimized. The lag is real sometimes. Like other times, it's not so bad. Like the movement part of it's fine. It's the button pushing that I have issue with. So I'm trying to hit the X button, and it might take a minute for it to register that I'm hitting the X button. And the X button is is the button that you do to interact with everything. So it's your open the door, pick up weapons, all that stuff. So it's like okay.
Everything's so slow.
Yeah, but now it took a little bit to figure out because, and I don't know why they did this because I had checked it out beforehand. Normally, when I play it on PC, I do play mouse and keyboard, which, I'm not a mouse and keyboard guy, but I did learn to play on mouse and keyboard on that. But for some reason, if you pick up a controller and go to play on a PC, which you can do, the setup is not the same as it is on the Xbox. Now, why would you make it different? Doesn't make sense to me. So
that is weird.
yeah, why
So-
would you do that? That's confusing.
I don't know. So it's like because I
Is
went
there
to
a
do
setting
it.
option where you can use the PC controller set like a secondary?
I
default?
didn't check. Like I actually like the setup they did for Xbox better than I did for the PC because PC, one of the things they had was I think it was the right stick. If you pushed it down, that's what pulled the map up, which I thought was weird.
There's another game that does that.
Because
too.
sometimes I accidentally hit that button. I'd much rather crouch or something when I hit that button than pulling up a big map to where I can't see anything on the screen. But to reload, I think is hold down Y. No, hold down X. To swap weapons is Y on the Xbox One, and it's just like some of the controls are just weird and different, and it took me a while to figure out too. You know how you'll pull up your inventory screen and you're swapping stuff out? You have your right and left bumpers is what moves you through the screen, and it moves you to different sections on what you need to do. So it's definitely not as quick as using a mouse, but I did find out that if you double click, so let's say that you have like a scope that you're wanting to set, you can just double click that and it'll attach to the one that it can attach to, basically. So it's pretty quick that way. But oh my God, like it's a learning curve to try to figure the menu part of it out. But and it actually popped up on the screen that there was a lag at one point. Like it actually popped up on the screen experiencing a lag.
At
Network
least
lag
it
detected.
told you.
Network lag detected. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. That was
And I'm
famous
like-
line.
I'm like, okay, great. this is what it is. But
Like, thanks,
it
no,
does.
fix that. Thanks.
It does. I can see if once they get it optimized that it'll end up looking better and playing better and stuff like that. But they've got to get it optimized pretty quick because it's just not gonna. It's not gonna do well on Xbox if they do not do that. So hopefully they get that down. But it's I played that a little bit, and then I've for some reason picked Conan Exiles back up and
Yeah, I saw you
have
playing that a lot on Steam. This
spent
week.
hours in this game, and the wife comes down and she's like, "What are you doing right now?" And I was like, fighting. Well, I was running from a crocodile actually because crocodiles will wreck your ass. And so like I'm
Peace
running,
out, running.
and I get so I'm like running, and I'm like, and she's like, "What are you running from?" And I turned around, and you can see this crocodile running at me. But you're a lot faster than crocodiles. And so like I'm running, and it's just like, she's like, "Oh my God!" And I was like, "Right." So I end up walking through. Griff's not gonna like this story. I start
Spiders?
walking through and I'm trying to explore the world a little bit outside of my little box that I'm at. I'm trying to get iron and coal and a bunch of other things and find the routes to these that are the safest routes. So I end up, I figured out like the little locals, you'll have these little camps that'll show up. They'll have usually 3 people with them at a bonfire, and you can just kind of kill them and move on. And so did that, and I was pretty hurt, and another guy found me. So he starts running after me, and I start running up this hill. And as I'm running up this hill, these giant green and blue spiders come running down at me, and I'm like running away as quick as I can. They shoot poison. So not only are they giant spiders, they can kill you pretty quickly because all they have is poison. And I'm like, what do I need to do for an antidote for a poison? Is I had to look up what antidote for a poison. Literally, I had this dagger, had no idea what to do with it. If you kill humans, you use the dagger to take their heart out and then take it to this thing. And that, when you put it there, then you can craft some type of antidote.
That's
so
fucked up,
I don't,
man.
yeah, I don't understand how a heart creates an antidote, but
It's full of love, and love cures everything.
I
Yeah.
guess so.
Ugh.
So it's very
or
weird,
just, increases your own strength.
right?
Yeah.
I like
Go
my
with
version
that.
better.
Strength of the warrior.
But then I enjoyed a lot of time in that one as well. And then I spent a lot of time playing. So, other than that, we're good.
Yeah, far too much time playing that.
Yeah.
Me and Baka played some StarCraft too. We did some of the co-op missions. It's a lot of fun playing co-op, and I have to say, I started playing Stukov, and that motherfucker is just, in my opinion, overpowered as fuck. All you do is you put your little rally point somewhere, and then all the units that he spawns just constantly run towards that point. And all of his units are timed, but if you upgrade one of his bases, it spawns 64 units. And then you have 64 units running at that spot at one time. And then you can spawn another 20 units from his barracks, and then all of his little defense things spawns a unit. And they always just run towards it. But I was like, they're coming from this way, and I just put my little rally point down, and you just see this massive wave of green move across the map. It's like, don't worry, they'll take care of it. Oh, don't worry, I could just put them over here, they'll take care of them over there. And you just see the wave kind of move from one spot to the other, and just wipe out all the red. He's a lot of fun. Other than that, I got my Gamefly game in. Finally, Modern Warfare. It's exactly like I thought, except it's like a modern Warfare. I know. It's
modern warfare.
Yes,
So it's the remaster, though. It should just be the same, right?
yes, but it definitely feels like a modern Call of Duty game. Yes, a modern
A
But with
Warfare.
good
plot
modern
line.
Call of Duty game.
Yes. I started playing the campaign. I got through the first couple of missions, just like it was back then. Looks a lot better though. And I started doing the PvP. Like that was the first thing I did. That's just a fucking let's get into the action.
matchmaking.
Hell yeah! Just jumped in and started killing people.
You know, I usually don't hear much from him when he's playing, like the occasional curse word or whatnot. Oh my god. And we wonder why people curse like sailors on Xbox Live now or PSN. Oh my god. I was like, are you okay? Like, what is happening that you are so mad about right now?
Oh yeah.
About to throw controllers and shit.
Is that the one with the sniper where you have to take the guy's arm off, basically?
Yeah.
Well, the best thing is to hit him in the face, blow his head off.
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. You gotta watch the flag and shoot the Brett 50 cal at like 500
Yeah.
yards.
Yeah.
That's the one. I haven't gotten to that
The,
mission
it's
yet.
the battle leading up to that sucks.
Having to do the whole sneaking thing and whatnot.
Yeah. Just, oh my god. It's brutal. Yeah, that game, I cuss a lot when I play. And like when I stream, I have to, I was streaming, it's like I had to hold my tongue a lot because I'm like, but I still cuss, just not as bad. And it's funny because wife comes downstairs and I might be playing even Conan Exiles and I'm just cussing up a storm, trying to run away, whatever, dropping. I'm like, motherfucker! It's like every 5 seconds. She's like, I never hear you cuss like that. So yeah.
Lately, Chicken's heard me a few times. He's looked over here because he sits in the other room, but we have line of sight to each other. And so I'll be playing over here because I've been playing a lot of Divinity 2 lately, and I'm playing by myself. And so I'll be like, son of a bitch, because all the bad guys like to pick on my 2 squishies.
It's
And-
because they're super smart. Like, you can
I
tone down the
know,
AI,
it's
but the
unfair.
AI are fucking incredibly smart. They're like, that person's squishy, that person's squishy. We're going to go ahead and surround them and kill them immediately. Fuck
Like-
these tanky people. Let's kill them.
At this point, I always try to position my guys, like I will break apart my party before combat starts so that I can position everybody individually. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be best because these 2 people will be occupied by my character who's tanky and melee, and these 2 people will be occupied by Red Prince who's tanky and melee, and then Fane and Iffen can stand in the back because they're both ranged. Nope. Like, first move for the AI, one of them is like, I've got teleport Iffen to the middle of the fight. And I'm like, no! He's gonna die immediately.
That's why you
Please
should make them
stop.
hide in the bush.
Even then, like, as soon as they are in the combat log, like, roll to go, they get teleported. One of them gets teleported, or something gets teleported to them. I'm like, can you not? I put my tanky people in front of you so that you would pay attention to me. Please stop.
Time to change your strategy.
The game has learned from my own tactics.
I don't know what
Your,
I'm gonna
your game
do.
has gone, well, this mage does it all the time and teleports people into the other game.
I guess so. I mean, I finally got the Bone Widow thing that Baka, your character, has in our group run. So I finally got that, so maybe I can start having him call it out whenever they put it, like, basically wait until they move him or move to him and then call it out. But I still don't think that's going to help. I think I'm going to be lucky if I can have a full fight round with a decent amount of enemies where Fane and Iffen both live the whole time. Because one of them is always going to die.
That's why you got to get Comeback Kid.
They all just got it. Everybody has it now. Every single one of those motherfuckers has Comeback Kid, so they have a chance to resist death. Yesterday, I was fighting that group at the sawmill. And also, this is one of my gripes, because I've been playing a lot of Divinity. Obviously, it's what I've been doing this week. Iffen is part of a group that is in the sawmill, or was part of that group, and as we're walking up, he's like, just let me do the talking. I'm like, okay. So I swapped him to my active character and put him in the front of the group to let him walk up first, and as soon as he steps close enough to them, they're all like, it's you, fight him. I'm like, he said let me do the talking.
Okay,
what happened to
if
the
you've learned
talking?
anything from cocky bandits, they're it's like, oh, he must have left for some reason. These
But
people hate him.
He has like a quest, a side quest thing, or his personal quest to talk to these people, and I can't talk to them because they instantly aggro. I also had to leave him down the hill when I went to talk to that group of elves that we just, as our group, did.
Well, it seems like nobody likes him.
Yeah. They're
Well,
like, you're a lone wolf, kill him.
There's a bunch of
No.
different ways to handle that, though. I mean, you can sneak
I just
around
leave
the
him down the
side.
hill.
Well, you can sneak around the side and come up from behind the place and sneak into the top stairs before anybody can see you.
I don't think my whole group would have been able to sneak in.
You can.
Not to
Well,
mention
if
when
you
you
have
go up
at
those
least
stairs,
one of
it's
the
a
pyramids,
different.
you can sneak one person in and then use the pyramid to get everyone else
Oh,
over.
I do that a lot.
Exactly. So you
Use
could
those
just use Iffen to
teleportation
sneak
pyramids.
in and then pyramid jump. Yeah, we'll just call it pyramid jumping.
Well, even then, even when we got to the place with the guy that he had been looking for, as soon as we walked in the door, they fought. Like, there was no exchanging of words. So I'm like,
Did you reset after you fought the people outside? That's
What do you
why.
mean, did I re-
Because
did I reset?
if you started aggression outside, then it's just going to transfer into the next
Well,
thing.
I can't help it. So they're all dead now. All of them. I mean, they were
Die.
gonna die anyway because that's the only way to smuggle that lady out. But it was like, Iffen, you said let me do the talking. You didn't say let me shoot the guy in the face.
But then you
And
can
it
use your
wasn't even him
spectral
that
sight
started
and
the
talk
fight.
to him.
I did. So I let Iffen talk to the guy. He didn't have any answers for him. So I guess that's how it's supposed to go down, maybe. But I don't know.
All I've ever learned in Divinity, there's never a supposed to go down like that. There are so
Okay,
many different ways it
true.
can go down.
Well,
Too funny.
it's been a lot of fun, and yeah. So I love that game way more than I thought I was going to. But that's what I've been doing. So, you guys want to talk about news stuff, or you want to talk about fun stuff, or what do you want to do, guys?
I want to tell one PUBG story. I just woke Griff up out of a like after she was asleep because of the.
I was so mad too.
Oh, I am so
don't
sorry
even
for this
know.
one. But Baka and our buddy J-Max was here. I was on fire this match. I think I had like 5 kills by the time it came down to 3 other people in this match.
Is this the one where I died early?
Yeah, you died early.
Yeah.
Like, we were coming out, and I kept, like, I was just taking out people. I don't know what was up. My hands were on fire. I was just wrecking people left and right. Baka died early into the match, and me and J-Max were pushing pretty hard, and we got pretty far into the game. We were stalking some people in the house, watched him get into a couple of fights. He popped a couple of people. Then eventually he died out in the field, and I was just sniping people off, knocking them down. They were just on the ground crawling. It was a lot of fun, and I was just playing aggressive. And J-Max was like, "Oh, you don't want to just run out there?" And I said, "Fuck it. There's only one way to play this game, is like straight up aggro." And I ran out there with my AK and ran into a warehouse and was looking for everybody, and there was nobody around because the circle was pretty small by this point. And I'm just looking for people, and there's nobody here. And I was like, all right, this is just ridiculous. So I ran into the house and got into the bathroom, and the circle shrunk and shrunk again, and the circle let me stay in the bathroom the whole time. And there were 4 people left. Me, 1 single person, and a duo. And I was like, okay. Like, I seriously sat there for like 5 minutes, and nobody was doing anything. It was just a standoff. I was like, this shit's getting boring. Fuck this. If I'm going to lose, then I'm just going to go ahead and lose while fighting. So I get out, and I'm looking around, and J-Max is like, there is somebody outside your house, like behind it. And I was like, all right, fine. So I go out the door, and I peek over this broken wall, and he's right fucking there. And I just go, pop him with a headshot. And I look around, and I'm looking for the last 2 people, and I'm like, where the fuck are they? They've got to be in this warehouse right here. And I go forward, and they're right there. Like, they turn around the corner and start shooting me, so I run back into the house real quick, and there's a stun grenade on the ground. So I grab it, and I heal myself up, and then I walk out the door and chuck it in there, and it pops, and I run straight in, and I start shooting, and I knock one of them down, and then the other guy fucking finishes me off. And oh my god, did I get so fucking mad. I jumped up, hit my chair, and just started yelling, and Griff just is like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, sorry.
I came out of the bedroom. I was like, what the hell, man? I am trying to sleep. Because it was like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, sometimes it just gets a little too.
So close. You should have thrown that Molotov you had, chicken.
I should have.
You should have thrown the flash grenade and then thrown the Molotov at the dude in the corner and then shot the other dude.
Yeah, I know, I should have. It's easy looking back on it, being like, yeah, you could have done this to win.
Hindsight's always 20/20.
You could have always stayed in your bathroom.
And then what? Just everybody fucking dicks around the house, and then eventually the game ends?
Yes.
Fuck that. I'd rather fight and lose than be a bitch and die.
Well, I'm sorry that you did not win.
Oh, it was good, though. It was good. Heart pumping. Felt good about it. Had like 7 kills at the end of it. Was doing something.
That's good.
Not for my sleeping, it wasn't.
Sorry about that.
Some of us have to work around here. Alright, what else? What do you guys want to talk about now? You want to do news? You want to do other stuff?
We can do news, and
There's not
we'll
that-
end with the fun stuff. How about that?
Okay,
there's
save
not
the fun
much
stuff to
news.
last so everybody has to listen the whole time. Good
Yeah.
job, I like it.
One of the things that we were talking about PUBG. It was in the news about the fact that it's not performing well on the Xbox One. Of course, I was talking about it earlier. It looks as though this might be part of the reason that there's a difference in the controllers is the fact that the Coalition actually optimized the controls for the Xbox One.
They optimized
Like
controls?
Gears of War Coalition?
Yep. So,
Huh.
so they're working hand in hand with Xbox, basically with Microsoft,
Okay, then.
and they're the ones that created. And like I said, I like the format better on the
Needs
Xbox
more action
One.
reload then.
Yep. So
Huh, that's wild. They did a like a test across the check the FPS across a 22-minute game. Average frame rate is 25.6 on the Xbox One, and then on the powerful Xbox One X is only 27.6. Like, oh my god, that is.
So it's not optimized. It's not necessarily the processing power of the consoles. It's that the game is not optimized.
well, and it's a 30-minute. It's a 30-frame lock too. So like it's not going to go any higher than that.
But I mean, it can't even get up to 30 frames.
Yeah, that's a problem.
No. Well, but could you imagine if they put it at 60? Because one second it'll jump way up and then it'll drop right down again.
You're like 60. Oh god, I'm 10. It's pretty awful. They've definitely got to do a lot of optimization. I find it weird though because you can see the settings in PUBG and change them. So I mean, even if you're playing on low settings, is it that bad?
Apparently.
Like, then it's
Maybe.
definitely the game. Like, good God, is it?
Please optimize. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, but you know what? I'd much rather have it this way than what we've had in the past. Because part of the problem we've had in the past is the fact that we get a game on console, and the console game works great, everything's on there, and then if you're a PC guy, that shit is fucked. Think
Who's
of the
been
Batman
playing
games,
it?
everything else.
Well, I mean,
At least it's the other way around.
Yeah, but it's even worse when you get people who've been playing PC and supporting the game, and then they port it over, and it's much better over there. It's like, what about us? We've been playing your damn game.
Yep.
And I also find the way that they're selling it odd. Like, you could buy it at bot stores, and you get a code and some stickers in the box.
I think that's weird.
Yeah,
Anytime
it's
that you
odd.
buy a code in a box. I
It
think
even
it's so
says
weird.
early access preview game on the box. I see Oak tried to say something, but he's like,
I'm just
Well,
trying
actually,
to
they
figure
did
out
this with
why you make
DuckTales,
that
too.
decision. Like, is it so you... Because what we've
I
been
guess-
told in the past is, from other manufacturers, is the fact that if you have a box in a store, that you can't sell it less online than what is sold in the store. So is that part of the reason why? So they lock the $30 that it costs for the game? Like, I can't figure out the thought process. Now, to be fair, it is a recognizable game.
Well, it's also coming up on a holiday season, so maybe you're getting parents that are going to buy it for the kids, and so they buy the box because it's in the
an
store.
early access preview game in a box?
You know, but some parents are not incredibly informed on what their kids are playing. If
Get
they say, "I want
informed,
this
motherfuckers. Get informed. God damn. It
They
is
just kind of go,
2017.
well, it's got shooting in it, and little Billy loves this.
Give us another 50 years where we're the older folks in the generations, and we will be well informed. You
This
won't
is
be able to
early
do this
access.
for-
You're not getting this garbage.
Exactly. The early access, fuck that shit. Oh, you want this title? Fuck that. You're too young to play that game. But I want it. All my friends. Who cares? I know better. I was your age once playing these games. This is GTA 12. We're not buying this. You're too young for it.
GTA 12. Wow.
GTA 12. I think the only thing that I see a problem with on this is that Fortnite seems to be running fine.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Epic Games is a console developer. Like, they've been
And they
making
probably
games
have a little more
for
money than.
yeah, and
what's
the
that?
Unreal
Blue
Engine.
Hole.
Yeah,
Thank you.
The Unreal Engine that I have played with comes optimized for everything. You can make mobile games, you can make console games, you can make PC games, you can make anything, and it'll run fine on anything. Like, their engine
That's
is
why a lot of
super well.
developers like using the Unreal Engine, because it's
Already
they do a really good job with
optimized. Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't have to do much with it. You can just make your game. So, I mean, that's super neat. It's a shame, but I assume it's gonna be fixed-ish. PC version's coming out in 2 days. Woohoo!
Woo.
Which means I guess they can start putting more effort towards the Xbox version, since the PC community will be placated for a little while. So,
Okay.
I will attempt to play it as best as I can.
Don't play with Baka is what we're saying right now. He's injured his hand and he cannot play clicky things very well. Don't trust him.
if
I'm
he
just
if he
saying.
used a regular mouse, he would only need these 3 fingers.
But he doesn't.
He plays with one of those abnormal mouse. Mice.
Abnormal mounts. A horse with 6 legs. What the fuck?
So he needs his ring finger. He's weird. Don't ask him about it.
Or do, whatever. Start a conversation.
Yeah, he can ask him
That's
about
the
it.
type of mouse that I used forever.
Exactly. And now it's holding you back. How do you feel?
I technically still have a normal mouse around here somewhere.
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 Remember, because I had to have it because it was a certain game we were playing. I don't remember
yeah.
what it was, where I had to use the little wheel thing, and because it would not let me change it in options.
You're right. I can't remember what game that was. Was it For Honor?
No, it wasn't For Honor.
I don't know which one it was, but I remember you having to get one.
That's
Anyway, in other news, sorry, I was reading the article.
I was trying to let Chicken transition and I was like,
I know,
okay,
it was
he's gonna
too. I
do
was
it.
waiting.
He's
I was
gonna do
waiting.
it.
I was reading the article in my head, and I didn't want to say the article as I was reading it. But Titan Quest is coming to. We've talked about it before. They just got an expansion a few weeks ago, I think it was. And they are re-releasing it, an 11-year-old game, re-releasing it on the Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. But
The Switch makes me excited about that.
But no couch co-op. There will be an online co-op and remastered graphics. And you do not get the latest DLC with it, which I think this is a pretty interesting ploy to try and sell their expansion, because I mean they're going to get a whole new audience.
So you have to pay for the base game, which will be $30, and then you have to pay for the expansion on top of that.
There was an expansion already released with the game way back when. You get the base game, that first expansion, and then you have to pay for the newest expansion,
Which just came out like this year.
Yeah, so it's
Like for the first time in 11 years, they added one this year because this is THQ Nordic, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and
So-
THQ. I want to support them, so I may double dip, because I bought Titan Quest a long time ago and got the Immortal Throne DLC, so I may just buy the expansion.
As I check my library to see if I own it.
Titan Quest. I really like it. It's a lot of fun. It's $30, which some people are a little, about an 11-year-old game, but I mean.
The comments largely seem kind of disappointed that it's a $30 price tag and it doesn't include the DLC.
The latest expansion.
Right.
They're different.
There's two. I get that, but it's an 11-year-old game, and you still want $30 for the game and the previous DLC, and then you want us to pay for another DLC on top of that?
Yeah, but it's also the style of game it is. It's going to be a long game.
It's a remastered game too. And yes, it is
Yeah.
very, very long. Definitely
Yeah.
worth $30 if you and your friends can get in to play it.
Yeah,
Definitely worth it.
You're gonna get a lot of time in. So I think it's just people complaining because it's of the age when they're not looking at.
Like
I mean, think about remasters nowadays. I mean, like Doom that was for Switch was $60.
and it was a remaster.
Yeah, well, it was a.
But it
A
also
port.
wasn't a remaster of a
port.
game that came out over a decade ago.
Yeah.
That's true. Well,
So
it's also not a very populated genre either. Top-down action RPGs. So I mean,
I don't know.
I
We'll see.
totally recommend you guys checking it out, if not buying it. Check it out. See if you like it. It's a Diablo-esque. It's Diablo 2-esque more than it is Diablo 3. Diablo 3 is just mind-numbing slash and kill, and this one's a lot more, tactical and a lot more diversity in it. There's like 15 talent trees, and you can build your character 35 different ways. Just tons and tons of content.
I'm kind of glad I never played Diablo 2 because I really like Diablo 3, and I'd hate to think that I would not like the game because of the fact that it was on there.
Yes. Well, they just limit you, and that's the problem with Diablo 3. But we'll get into that a different day.
That'll work.
All right, what else you got?
I don't want to do that article, so we'll go to the Destiny articles.
That'll work.
Okay. Let's not spend all day on Destiny, because I know we can definitely get started on it. I just
Alright.
want to throw that out there before we get started.
That's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and say what I said last week about it. You know how we said that they should just release harder difficulties for each expansion? That's what they should have done. They were even saying it too, that they should not have released, they should not have put the harder difficulties behind it. They should have just let people keep it and then figured out a different way to make it more
Right.
or make it more necessary for people buying the expansions.
Right.
Simple. I mean, it's sad that Bungie has to keep coming out and saying we keep doing it wrong. Stop doing it wrong.
Especially when it's not.
It's not that
That's not even like
complicated.
rocket science.
No,
like, it's
that's not
just-
hard.
Like that's
That's not
easy. But one of the things too, they have the Prometheus lens that was people were enjoying because it was extremely OP and people were getting it and going into the Crucible and just owning people basically.
Everybody killing everybody with their laser beams.
Yes, so they're finally going to nerf it and put it back. Now, the funny thing about it was, and Chicken pointed this out when we were doing this stuff, is the fact that you got two articles, same group of people. One's like, I've had so much fun playing in Destiny 2. This has made it fun again because you have this thing that's OP, and then on top of it, there's an article right behind it that's like, it's no longer going to be OP. The thing is I like the fact that they're coming out and saying, sorry, this isn't fun for everybody. it's great that you're enjoying this, but you're destroying people, and they need to fix that, which I'm cool with.
Well, just tell them to get good.
But the other one,
Or get the gun.
just get good. But I do like the fact that the other article, the guy says one of the weirdly brilliant things about Destiny games is they're at their most memorable when they're broken. And I don't disagree with that. Like, when we usually talk about different parts of the games, it's usually because there's a broken part of the game that people enjoy, and it does have to change because there's going to be other people that are like, this is fucking broken, right? But you got to do something about it, so
Yep.
I don't know. And
I like that, or I think it's strange that most of the comments in that article, because it was an apology that they were issuing about some of the stuff, is that nobody really accepts that apology.
No. Well, unfortunately, when you apologize so many times in a row, people start looking at it less and less. I hate to be like that about it, but they have been apologizing for a lot of issues. We're sorry about the loot game. We're sorry about the XP. We're sorry about the raids. We're sorry about the OP weapons. We're sorry for being sorry. No, we're not Canadian.
I guess it does start to feel a little hollow after a while.
Yes,
You're like, okay, look, I get that you make mistakes, but these are a lot of mistakes in relatively quick succession. What's going on with you guys? You want to talk about it? You need some help?
Yeah, well, that's most of the Destiny stuff. I mean, they're just apologizing again. I'm sure we'll talk about it again next year. Literally.
A couple weeks.
I'll let somebody else take that next article, because
I'll do it. I don't have a problem. All right.
I knew it was going to be one of us.
Pooping alien babies.
oh my goodness.
Ark's new expansion, Arboration, of course, recently came out. But one of Aberration, whatever.
Arboration would probably be trees.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, for
tree babies.
there are a lot of trees and mushrooms in the thing.
Yeah, I'm sure you're gonna have to take a lot of those mushrooms to forget what's about to happen to you.
Actually, there are mushrooms in it. Like, if you get near those mushrooms, it goes on a psychedelic trip through the whole thing. I watched
Drugs
the
are
guy
bad,
stream,
okay.
and I was like, "What the crap?" You don't even have to eat them. They
You
just
just have to be close to them.
close to them, and everything goes nuts. But Aberration, basically, there's one thing. It's called a Reaper Queen. Sorry, that she can actually impregnate your character, and then you have little dinosaur baby or little Reaper babies. I'm not exactly sure what it is, and you get to raise your little Reaper baby. So you become the host to the Reaper Queen's offspring. So
It's like,
there's that.
there's
I don't
like a
know why
modern
we
day
need.
alien.
Poop out the egg if you're a male character.
You poop
Yeah,
out
I
the
don't-
egg.
Yeah,
I mean, I assume it's an egg, right?
yeah, I would. I'm
Unless we're
hoping.
going like chest
poop out
burster
the egg.
style.
Put it in the refrigerator for a while
Yeah.
with all the other what? No.
You could see
Now I
that.
just
By the
got
way,
this
Oak's
really
pregnant.
weird image of the little thing like popping out of your chest, your character falling over dead. You have to run back to the body
Oh my
and
god.
loot all your stuff off, and the baby's just sitting there in the old body, just going, "Hey, how's it going?"
Oh,
Hey, how's it
God.
going? You want to get
Well,
me
I
out
want to
of
know
this?
if your character looks pregnant too.
Oh my
like, does
God.
you just start to get bigger? And what's the incubation time? Like, is it going to be like every
Does it
time I
hinder
log in,
you
I'm going to be a
for
little
anything
bigger?
Else? Like, do you get fatigued whilst you are pregnant with your alien baby?
What's your food consumption? Does it increase? Do you have to eat more food in order to
Do
be
you
able
have
to
to stay out of the heat? Because if you're out, like, your heat index thing fills up quicker now.
There you go.
Oh shit! I'm
These
gonna
are the
pass-
questions that they're asking, so
I need to know how alien babies work.
you can always
Maybe-
buy it.
No, I will not. I'm sorry. Ark shafted
no
me
more
enough.
money to them.
I don't need to be forcibly shafted as well to have this alien baby.
Just go watch someone on Twitch or something for a while. I mean,
All
Something
And
right.
about-
this
it
is
was
another
bound to get,
$20
face
DLC,
hugged.
by the way. So if you want to pick this up, it's a $20 DLC. I guess in addition to the other $20 DLCs that you've been buying recently. So
Yeah, it's $20
that.
standalone or £35.
yeah, I don't know why that article gave us
Season
the
pass,
standalone
it's-
in one currency and the pass in another currency.
Yeah, it's
Like-
so weird.
Okay.
So weird. I will have to say the little dog frog thing. I don't know what else to call it. It's very cute, and I watched a streamer do it. And if you feed it, he does like a little handstand, his little legs and his little tail shakes up, and it's really cute.
I
So
don't,
they
I
did
don't
create
think
a cute
that's enough
character.
to make me forget about all of the other issues.
That's why you watch other people play. Then you don't have to
Okay.
worry about
You don't have to
everything.
buy it then.
Yep.
I just
So-
want to be able to chop down trees with my mammoth and in peace.
You can go chop
Bertha.
down things in Conan Exiles and
No,
run from alligators.
no, I'm good.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, and that one, I didn't realize because evidently the default on it is no nudity, and there's a nudity switch on Conan
Oh my god,
Exiles.
you're looking at naked people.
And and your character, it's like I vaguely remember the fact that one of the things you could do is change endowment in both either one, and I'm
Now
like,
you know why.
and I was like, oh, now I
Just running around with a big
understand
floppy
why.
thing. That'd be great.
Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic when you're swimming and you accidentally like you're and like if you die when you come back, you're completely naked. So it's like you got to get back to where you went, just like you do an arc, and it's like, wow.
I
This
don't
is a new
ever
level.
want a crossover of Conan and the Aberration expansion.
Oh my god!
my god! I don't ever need to see that.
I hope I don't run into a problem. That'd be awful.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
You guys are
Yeah.
gross.
Oh, we can keep out of that world, please.
It's crazy.
Okay, let's now that you guys have derailed everything.
What do we derail? That was part of the.
I know.
Don't give me that shit.
All right,
So-
since this is our last episode for 2017,
Yes.
Griff has asked us to get a list of things together, basically our favorite games of the year that we've played, and then also maybe 1-2 things that we were very disappointed in, and then what we're looking forward to 2018.
Chicken has to go last on that because it's pretty much every game that comes out next year.
Well, you said
On his list.
I picked 2 of them.
He picked 2. He picked
Okay.
2.
Okay.
I
I
picked
put-
2
I-
that I
I-
will buy day one.
Day one buys, that made it a whole lot easier.
Well,
Yes.
let's start
Guaranteed.
with this year. What are your top 5 games that you've played from this past year?
Do you want to do everybody each does a list, or do you want to do it to where what's your number 5? And everybody tells them.
Yeah.
However
I mean-
you guys want to do it.
What do you mean? You're the host. How you want us to do it? You want everybody to go
We're the
5,
host.
4,
We're all the
3?
host. This is
We're
like
all the hosts.
We're the host.
Yeah.
Host
Let's
this.
do it. All right. Well, let's do it to where everybody says what their number 5 is.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
My
so
number
we'll start
5
at the
would be
bottom.
PUBG.
Okay.
I think since it does come out in a few days for officially for PC, I guess.
For 2017.
So because one of our stipulations was you can't say early access. Early access games, even if you put a lot of hours in it. So like even Conan Exiles, I can't say Conan Exiles.
I totally forgot that was early access still.
yeah.
Yep. PUBG though would definitely be it. We put a lot of time in it. I think it was at the time was not exactly unique, but the way it was handled was unique. Of course, and then I mean, look at the fan base. You've got hundreds of thousands of people that are just watching people play the game, and that's pretty awesome. And then they're about to introduce the new desert map, which I've tried out on the test server. It's fantastic, so I'm really interested to see once it goes live how they're going to do that, like mixed between the two. So, like, is it going to be random on which one you go, or are they going to give an option to go? You can go desert map or go this one. So
It'd be
that's going to be
nice
very
to
interesting.
kind of bounce back and forth, or just have it like random.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of random because they're doing that with the weather now. Sometimes you got fog, sometimes you have rain.
Yeah,
So
creating dynamic experience is why the game is how games survive over years.
yeah, and I am interested to see if that's the case, what they plan on doing in the desert for dynamic change, because you ain't gonna get a lot of rain,
Sandstorms, motherfucker.
right? How great would that be? So
Yeah,
that'd be
sandstorms
interesting.
would actually also make it to where with the wind blowing, it'd be harder to hear people's footsteps.
Mm-hmm. Your bullets would curve a whole lot harder too.
But that was my number 5. So
I struggled to find a lot of games that I played this year that were from this year because I'm still playing catch up with old catalogs and stuff. So some of the things on my list are basically here because I need things I've played this year. But not this one. This one actually, I really enjoyed, but I didn't finish. There are 2 on my list that I didn't finish, and this
Fair
is one of
enough.
them. But Mario and Rabbids. Oh, I thought it was really cute, and I haven't finished it yet because I got sidetracked doing a bunch of other things, and I haven't gone back to it. But it was adorable. Come on.
yay!
That's my number 5 too. I mean, I thought it was a super unique style of game that Nintendo and Ubisoft decided to combine. I mean, you don't get many games like that, so I thought that was a very, very well done game.
Well, and I think that it's a good, if you're going to have 2 studios do a crossover with their franchises, I think those fit really well. together.
Yes.
But we didn't think so when it was announced.
Well, I mean, I was always behind Rabbids. I was like, you know what? If you're gonna give me a Rabbids game, I'll play it.
Yeah.
So, I just haven't finished it yet. Now that I remembered,
Yeah.
so I'll get to that. Don't worry. Okay, then that's also chickens. Baka, what's your number 5?
Mine would be Street Fighter for the Switch.
Really?
Are you still
Yeah.
owning people on that? Like,
I
how
mean,
many
it's-
people have you made cry?
Do what?
I said, how many people have you made cry?
I haven't done the online very much in it, so which online it was kind of a lot of back and forth, but I did notice something on it that kind of annoyed me. Is apparently like in the settings for the controllers and stuff when you're messing around with like, okay, I want to move like all my heavy attacks here, my low attacks here, whatever. There's also an option in there where you can make it to where like basically if you don't play fighting games, it can be easy mode for you where it's like, oh, well, I want to do this super combo like Akuma's little attack thing. I just hit this button and then there we go. And I'm like, that's kind of cheap.
I wonder if they'll
But
they separate you and things like that.
I have no idea. That's why I kind of put that one further down, because it's like that might be an issue of where I had some people who are just like, yeah, I'm gonna keep smashing this super. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm assuming they did that for, we'll say, kids that are closer to my oldest age, which is around 6. So they give them that option to be able to play, but at the same time, they
Well,
don't
I mean,
memorize
it's
the
something
stuff.
I've noticed in a lot of fighters here lately.
They make
like,
them more accessible.
yeah, like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It has something kind of similar to it as well, where it's like you can, I mean, essentially just mash buttons and there you go. There's no, you don't have to worry
Didn't Mortal
about.
Kombat
Kombat
X have?
They had microtransactions where you could buy the easy unlock.
Yeah, the one button fatalities where they had that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But
Which
yeah,
was
even
dumb.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3, they have it set up to where it's more accessible to people who don't generally play fighters, who still want to go through and enjoy it. Which, okay, that's fine.
I feel like that's what the single player is for, though.
Yeah.
I don't think that you should have the easy kill button in the multiplayer stuff.
For sure not. No.
Whatever.
I mean, that's where people actually go to test their skills. I mean,
Yeah. I
skills. Who
completely
has those anymore? We don't have time to have those. That's why we pay to unlock everything.
agree.
instead of, mashing in a bunch of buttons like up, up, down, down, left, right.
Yeah, I mean, that takes too long. Alright,
EA
Oak, what's your
select
number
start.
4?
My number 4 is Golf Story.
I knew
I
that
actually
was
would.
gonna be on your list.
Golf Story is my number 4. Mainly, it's as far down as it is because I haven't finished the game yet. But I enjoy all the gameplay with it. It's and they did a really good job story-wise of why you're progressing to these different golf courses. And you do have to move in and out of them. They give you nice little mini games of even picking up turtles and saving turtles and things like that. It was just interesting. It was also a throwback to the 8-bit, 16-bit generation of games and it's impressive to me that 2 Australian guys that decided to make this, and it just slid under the radar but hit really big with everybody. It's perfect for the Switch. Just because it feels like a portable game. Every bit of it does. Like if I was playing it on PC or something like that, it just wouldn't feel the same to me. And so I think that to me, this is what the Switch is meant for, is playing games that should feel portable, it goes back to like the Mario games that you were talking about before. It just feels good on the Switch. And it's enjoyable, and it's something that I don't have to worry about a timer or that my character's going to get killed or anything like that. So it's a very casual game where I can sit back and just kind of play. And so when I get to number 3, you'll understand why this one was number 4. But this was my number 4 because number 3 I enjoyed so much. So when we get to that, you'll see why. Go ahead.
Okay. My number 4, I did not finish it, to be 100% transparent, but at some point I'm going to pick it back up and finish it and probably replay it eventually. But Resident Evil 7 was very enjoyable. I was very scared a lot of the time.
A lot of people have that up for their game of the year. So I mean,
I thought it was good.
pretty impressive.
It wouldn't be my game of the year because I think it had some issues that I didn't necessarily like embrace fully and whatnot, but it was an enjoyable game. The mechanics were good. Playing it in VR is an absolute no for me ever because I would just have a heart attack and die.
Need to play that shit in VR. Well, to be
I'm
fair,
too scared.
I know where everything is. That like I beat the game, so you just run through.
Yeah, but I mean, you know where a lot of the stuff is, but the some of it can change. Like the guy busted out of the wall for me, but not for you.
Well, I made that
which
fun
was
for me.
terrifying.
I made that fun for me. Like you just kind of like squirrel under him, and be like, "Oh no, don't hurt me." Greased up deaf guy from Family Guy. Oh no, you can't catch me. Just run away.
See, I can't.
Go catch me.
When I'm in fear mode, it is not. I can't do it. Like I can make jokes about everything in any other situation, but if it's a scary thing, I have a really hard time being like, "This is hilarious," because I'm too worried with "I'm gonna die."
Don't die! Don't die!
So, and there were several moments of "I'm gonna die" in that game, and I appreciated it, and it looked really good too. Fantastic. So that was my number 4. It was fun.
My number 4 is Horizon Zero Dawn. The reason it's number 4 is the other 3 games just
were way more impressive to you.
well, personally to me,
Gotcha.
were more influential. But Horizon Zero Dawn was just so fucking good. If the other 3 games didn't come up, it would definitely move up to at least the second spot. But Horizon Zero Dawn was fantastic. The story was good. And the deeper you got into it, the more, like, as I played it, I was like, oh, yeah, this is pretty good. Oh, I wonder what happened here. What happened here? What happened here? And it just sucks you in. And you've just got to keep going to find out what happened. Every time you think you find an answer, you get more questions. And, like, that story was good.
You.
Yeah, the story was just so good, and then the environment, the gameplay that they developed in that world was amazing. The dinosaurs, the Robo Dinos were just incredible. The combat was great. Like that game was just all around solid, and for it being a new IP.
We should have known that was gonna be in the list because there's some sort of dinosaur-like creatures, and we know your love for dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm. All I have to do is clap and say, "If you have not played it, play it."
Well, we know Chicken's definitely playing the Jurassic Park game.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. All right, Mike, what about you? What's your next one?
Mine would be South Park, Fractured Butthole.
Really? That's number 4 for you?
Wow.
Yeah.
I expected that to be much higher on the list.
So did I.
It's good, but I don't know. This time around, the humor just wasn't as funny as what it was in Stick of Truth.
Do you think
And
it's
the
because
game
you were
also-
expecting some of it now? Like, you knew how much they were going to push the envelope, so you were expecting it, kind of?
Well, I mean, even then, it didn't seem like they were really pushing the envelope all that much.
Okay.
I mean, it seemed like they kind of toned it back down a little bit. I mean, yeah, I was kind of expecting, something to the extreme of, Nazi baby fetus kind of a thing, but there wasn't anything anywhere near close to that. There wasn't even anything like close to the scene where you are shrunk down chasing the underpants gnomes, and then you walk, you're on the bed fighting them with your parents basically going at it, and you have to dodge your dad's balls.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
There wasn't
was-
anything
that
was
like
so
extreme like
brutal.
that in this one, which I was kind of disappointed in. It also felt a lot shorter in comparison to the other one.
Yeah, you
Like,
bought
I
it and
played-
played it in, like, 48 hours or less.
Well, I mean, I don't know, like I said, it felt shorter. Like, I ran through it twice in that time, though. And there wasn't, like, as many,
you
like,
guys say that there's
crazy
something wrong with
achievements or anything like that. I mean, it kind of just seemed like they toned a lot of things back a little bit in comparison to the other one.
But you still enjoyed it enough for it to be on your list, I
Yeah.
guess. Okay.
Yeah,
Just
it's
checking.
still a fun game. If you love South Park, you'll enjoy the game. It's not going to be quite as extreme as the other one, though.
Okay.
Fair enough.
All right, Oak, what is it that you love so much that it replaced Golf Story?
Deceit, actually.
Oh.
Okay, that was a lot of fun.
And that's mainly it. It had to do with the amount of time we all spent together on it, and the fact that I honestly didn't fucking know if it was, it was Red and I always were the ones got accused, and it was usually the asshole known as Chicken that was the one that would do it, and then of course Griff, who stayed quiet the entire time.
Or my sister.
Yeah, like it was brilliant. You didn't know who was what. One of my favorite moments was the fact that there were 3 people that none of them were the terror, and everyone else was dead, and they're all still accusing each other, and we're all the rest of us are
That
I
running
know
back
it's you who took this blood pack.
I
Yeah.
know. Oh my god, that was probably my favorite moment in the game. Like we're all three just kind of sitting near the thing, going, If one of you two fucking turn, I'm gonna cap your ass right here. And then it opens, and we all jump in. It's like, oh, okay, none of us were.
Like it was so good. And the fact that they've made it free to play now for everybody.
Yes.
To go in and be able to play this game and enjoy it with your friends, and
We need to go back and play sometime now that they've done all the updates and
Oh,
stuff.
have you
Yeah.
seen the most recent update? They just released a massive Christmas update where there's 3 different
What?
Christmas monsters.
Oh my god, we gotta
Like-
go
Are we
play,
playing
you
that
guys!
tonight?
Like,
Because
it
we need to
is-
play that tonight. That's what
It's
I'm
a
saying.
big ol' update, and it's now the reviews are now mostly positive. Like the game is now shifted towards great. There's about 2,000 players playing. The game is coming along.
It's for you
wonderfully
guys.
now.
If anybody listening / watching this wants to ever play with us, please hit us up because we will probably all be down.
But you got to
Oh,
make
yeah.
sure that you understand that in that game,
Well-
it's free for all.
And what I love about this is, we started with the game Damned that didn't get the support that we needed to, but we enjoyed those moments
that
together.
was so fun.
And the fact that it's moved to this is,
And
You know,
they're still
I just
supporting
enjoy it.
so
It's-
heavily. Like kudos to
Yeah.
that company.
oh yeah, they've done a great job with it, and I think they need that recognition. So yeah, number 3, Deceit, hands down.
Well,
Yeah.
my number 3, actually, Chicken and I had a debate about it the other day about why I was or was not allowed to even put it on my list and what it meant to be on my top 5 list and things like that. So I'll just go
Personal
ahead and throw it out
preference.
here. Yeah, it's personal preference. But my number 3 is Mass Effect Andromeda. It got a lot of flack. There was a lot of things wrong with it, but it did some things right too. It wasn't a complete failure, and I found it enjoyable. Like, I'm not saying it's on the same level as the original Mass Effect trilogy, because it's not. It was not as well done, obviously, and it has its issues, but it's also got a lot of light of its own that I really appreciated about it. I just wish that it hadn't got so mired down in all of the shit that it wasn't, or all of the shit that it failed at, to not let the good parts shine through.
Well, to be fair, when you're covered in so much mud, you can't see what's underneath.
I know. I know.
That's the issue with something like that. I mean, you just expect more from BioWare, and unfortunately, EA has them by the balls. So.
Yep. At some point, my plan is to do a Let's Play of that game specifically so that I can, like, more in depth talk about this is what's nice about it, this is what sucks, this is what's completely wrong, and things like that. At some point, that's my plan. I just have to get to the point where I can have the time to do that soonish. We'll see. But
I hope you
enjoyed it.
do, because I mean, I know you enjoyed the game.
I got lots of feels about that game.
Yeah, I didn't get the game as first Mass Effect game that I didn't buy. And part of the reason was because of what Chicken was talking about, all the mudslinging that was going on to it, because it was fucked up. I mean, the game itself was messed up, and
It's not as masterfully written as
Yeah.
the first 3. It's got a lot of flaws, but it does have a lot of character of its own.
We'll just blame it all on EA because,
Yes, you probably can blame every bit of it on EA, and the fact that BioWare put their C team on it didn't help.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, that may have also been a decision by EA in itself.
We need your A team on Anthem, everybody. So
Yeah, your C team can work on the next Mass Effect. But Mass Effect's important. It doesn't matter. Just let them do it. Okay?
it's dead
We're in
the
this for
water,
the money,
but I
not
enjoyed it.
entertaining of people.
Yeah, pretty much how it is.
People will
Alright,
buy it
Chicken.
because it's Mass Effect.
Yeah, that's what they thought. Which is another thing I guess we benefited from. Now we know that people will not just buy games based on what franchise it is.
Very true.
right.
All right, Chicken, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Resident Evil 7. Because I finished
Yay.
the game, and the first part of the game is totally unique and kind of draws you away from the Resident Evil saga, and it was super fun. Like, I'll be the first one to admit, I was very hesitant about the whole first-person thing, but it grew
you
on me
were.
as it came out. Like, after a while, I kind of gave way and was like, maybe it's going to be okay, and it's good. Like, the first-person point of view is pretty good. The monsters are really good too. They got me a couple of times, but
Oh, more than a couple. Come on.
I
They
like
did a really good job.
I like the inventory system. It's complicated, it's difficult, it's hard to use. That's just like it was back in the old days.
It's like old Resident Evils, though.
You're
It's
limited.
nostalgia.
Exactly. It also makes it so that you have to kind of figure out how you want to play. Like, I always made sure I had my shotgun, my pistol for the small enemies, and then a heavy weapon, a grenade launcher or something like that, and then healing and ammo, and then space for key items, things like that. You weren't allowed to just be like, I load up on all of everything and I shoot and kill everything. You had to be strategic about it. There were a couple of times, I remember at one point, it was at the docks, and I was picking up some stuff, and a monster popped up behind me, and I was like, oh shit, I better go ahead and deal with this guy, blah blah blah, and I shot and killed him. And after that, there's about 6 more coming up the docks. I was like, oh hell no. So I ran and just got in front of them and took off towards the fucking end, because there were just far too many to deal with. I wasn't gonna deal with that shit. But the second half of the game is where it really picks up in the Resident Evil. You learn why this is a Resident Evil game. And then, then you play towards the end. But it's super neat, and you're forced to make a serious choice later on in the game that was very easy yet difficult to make. So.
Gotcha. That was a good game, though.
And a very, very good twist at the end. Something you wouldn't expect.
Shh, no spoilers for people who haven't played it yet.
I won't. But it was a good twist, for sure. When you get to the end, you're going to be like, damn, it's pretty good.
The twist is that's not really Chris in the commercial.
That was Chris. Shut up.
That's not Chris. It's not
That
Chris.
is Chris.
Not my Chris. Hashtag not my Chris.
All right, Vodka. What's your number 3?
Well, mine technically came out last year, but I didn't get to play it till this year's. But I really like Xenoverse 2.
Oh, Dragon Ball?
Yep.
Is that a Dragon Ball game? Okay.
Why
Yeah,
is Chicken
Dragon Ball.
narrowing his eyes?
That's 2 fighting games on your list.
Yeah,
I like
narrowing my
fighting
eyes.
games.
I know.
Yeah, I know. We talked about games this year. Games released this year.
Well,
that we
I had
enjoyed.
already told him that he
That's
put it on
fine.
the list.
That's fine. That's what I'm there.
I mean, the
next
other
year-
option, I guess, would be PUBG, and then I'd have to alter the list. But I mean,
No, it's fine. It's fine. You can keep it like
I don't
that.
know. I really like Xenoverse 2.
Next year.
He played a lot of it this year, though.
Yeah,
like
he did.
early this year, there was not like, if he was not sleeping, he was probably playing it.
Yeah, and you're like, hey, you want to come play games? Beating Brawley, leave me.
Yeah, he's like, no, I can't be social with you guys right now. I'm busy.
If I had
He's got
a penny
people
for every
trolling
time he was
people.
beating up Brawley, I'd be rich.
Well, I mean, that, and I was also trolling people online because I made a little Majin dude that basically all of his special moves are nothing but dance moves.
Yeah,
Except
you told
for,
us about that.
Yeah, except for the transform one, or the change bodies, and then I would just change bodies, and then the only thing they can do after that is just dance around as I beat the shit out of them.
So rude.
It's fun.
Alright, Oak, number 2.
Number 2, that's where my Mario Rabbids is.
Oh, nice.
Because I
It's
finished the
interesting
game.
to see the similarities.
Mario Rabbids, for me, it was a welcome surprise. It was funny. It was
very funny.
It was not easy. Like, you had strategically figure everything out, especially as you get further in the game. I like the fact they give you an easy mode. So if you've tried 3 or 4 times or more or whatever you wanted to do, if you wanted to hit a button, it's immediately there. It just basically adds power, not power to you, but adds health to you, so you can go through and have a little bit more turns to it. So they give you that option that's available to you. So, it's just a well-told story that you wouldn't think would be fun to tell. This crazy Rabbids adding into Mario just doesn't make sense, really.
It does, though.
It does on the way that they present it.
Yes, exactly.
The way they present it makes sense, and I don't want to spoil that for anybody, because to me, when it starts the beginning, the first thought is, what the fuck am I playing? Because it doesn't feel like this is what you're supposed to be playing. And the concept of a washing machine being like a time machine is just like,
it's so cute, though.
and then the little the little parts where you can go through and Rabbids are doing random stuff on the sides and your characters are talking or whatever, and you get to kind of just have fun playing and exploring the world and enjoying different parts of it. So Mario Rabbids definitely my second. I put so much time into that game. Both played it on the like on the television itself, and then also portable. It felt great both ways. There was no, it wasn't like where you'd pick it up and you'd go, oh, I got to play this on TV, or oh no, I got to play this portable only.
Right.
That type of thought process. It felt the same both ways. And that's what I loved. And I don't play normally, like I've got a Pro controller, but I don't normally play with it. I normally play just with the little thing that comes with it that you slide your Joy-Cons in. But it was great. I enjoyed it, and I thought it was brilliant, and I can't wait till they have a sequel. I really can't.
Well, my number one and number two kind of fought it out. I fought it out between myself about it for a while, but number two is Prey. I am a big fan of any game that lets the protagonist and the player have similar mindsets, where it's like, I don't know what's going on, they don't know what's going on, where you learn a lot of stuff together, and it's more, you're discovering at the same pace they are. It's not like they have a bunch of knowledge that they will, expout to you as you go. There's not a lot of exposition from your character. In fact, I don't think your main character says anything directly. I think all of the talking is done by the auxiliary characters around you, which is silent protagonist is kind of a nice thing. I'm not always the biggest fan, but in this case I really was, because it really felt more like you were figuring it out for yourself along with this person that you're playing as, and it felt really good. The game was good. It had a lot of good moments to it. I liked the ending. It was just a good time. Plus Art Deco. The whole space station was Art Deco, and I loved it.
I started the game this week, and
so
straight up first 30 minutes, hour, however long it is in there, and they do such a good job of making you not know that you're on a space station, really.
Yeah.
And at the very
that opening,
well, she just said it,
cinematic is super slick too, where they give you all the credits. Oh my god, it's my favorite.
Yeah, so it's awesome. They did a really good job of making that happen. So when you turn around, you go, what did I just walk into? Like, it's brilliant. That's about where I'm at. I'm not too far into it, but it was just like, oh my god, I can understand why it grabs you right off the bat.
It's
like,
so good, so good.
So definitely.
Chicken.
My number two is Divinity Original Sin 2. I have to give so much credit to Larian Studios for upping their game. I mean...
Well, it gives you a D&D-esque experience in a video game.
Matt Mercer even said their DM mode is the closest you'll ever get to being able to play D&D in a game. The amount of control you have, that's just their DM mode.
We're going to test that out at some point, by the way.
That is just incredible. I mean, with the person controlling the game, basically being able to mod it at their will is incredible. And that's just, like I said, their DM mode. Their game, it could probably take you 2,000, 3,000 hours to see every possible scenario from every single character in it. I mean, from your pre-written characters that they added in that you don't even have to play with, or your 4 customizable characters that you can do whatever you want with. I mean, the amount of RPG that is in this RPG is insurmountable. There's no other game like it.
I'm sitting at 99 hours right now on my account. I just looked. 99 hours, and I haven't even finished the second act.
Yeah, I mean, it's just... Larian Studios is a company, and it doesn't even cost you $60. It's $45 for their full game and everything that comes with it. I mean, if there is a company to support, it is Larian Studios, because they listen to people. One of the biggest issues in the first game was 4-player multiplayer, and they said they were bringing it to you in the next game, and they brought it.
Good.
It is fantastic. From the elements that you can use inside of the game to the strategic point. I mean, it is. There's a reason it is number 2 on my list. Number 1, I'm pretty sure everybody can guess what it is, but
I think me and Chicken have the same number 1 as well.
Probably. But Divinity Original Sin 2 is an absolute must for anybody's Steam library and Xbox whenever it comes out for that.
Yeah. All right, Baka, what's your number 2?
Mine is basically same as Chicken's.
Divinity Original Sin 2.
You guys are so cute.
I mean, hey, he's got good taste.
Now, Chicken.
He's got good taste.
Well, I know we've all had a lot of fun playing the multiplayer together, all 4 of us.
Yes.
When Red's
and
not
killing Kyle a few
corpse
times for doing
robbing.
stupid shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that aspect of the game is absolutely incredible. Being able to break your 4-man party apart, like if you're 4 people, you can all break apart, declare war, and not be in the same party, and fight each other inside your game. Make your own choices inside of this world together.
I don't want to fight you guys.
It's just mind blowing how much they've done for this game. I can totally understand why it's gotten 10 out of 10s, 9 out of 10s, out of everything out of 10s.
All right, then. Then we're at number 1. Oak, what's your favorite game from this year?
Super Mario Odyssey.
Really?
Super Mario Odyssey, I picked up the game. I had high hopes for it anyway. A lot of times when that happens, though, you get a disappointment when you go in. It just starts off right. Like, every bit about it feels Mario 64-ish, in that feeling you get of, I get to explore this world, but it's massive compared to the Mario 64 type thing, and Mario Sunshine. I like the fact that there's a huge replayability with the fact that you can get these stars. There are issues in the fact that if you undo achievements, you got to go to one person and just undoing it get a star every time that you're doing it, or moons every time you're doing it. I like the storyline that they've created. It felt right playing with the Joy-Cons. I didn't think it was going to feel right just having 2 Joy-Cons and moving the hat around, but it just feels better that way. It just overall, plotline wise, gameplay wise, it was the most fun I'd had. I mean, I was able to. I was on a vacation and I spent more time playing that than I did anything else. I stayed up late just to play it. So, definitely love that game. And hands down, what would be my game of the year of the games I played. I know what those 2 guys, theirs is, but I didn't play through it as much as them. So, there's a difference. So, but yeah, Super Mario Odyssey for sure.
Yeah, I do have to give a little bit of a shout out. I saw a video the other day. Someone beat Super Mario Odyssey without jumping at all. 0 jumps.
That's interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 0, because there's a little tracker that keeps count because it's a 4-star or something, or moon.
Yeah.
And it was 0 at the end of the game.
That's weird.
All of the tricks, all of the tools that they used, because basically they figured out the exact formula as what is considered a jump. If Mario is on the ground and he pushes the A button, it is considered a jump. So he figured out all these different tricks. If you slide your hat and hit it, you bounce. Not considered a jump. If you jump, like if you bounce slam to talk to an NPC, it's not considered a jump. But if you just press A in front of an NPC, it's considered a jump. So you have to figure out all these different ways to outsmart or figure out how the game works. And
I'm sure it's on YouTube, right?
Yes, it is.
Right,
It's super
then
fascinating.
Google it.
Definitely.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go check that out.
My number 1 is what Baka and Chicken had for their number 2s, which is Divinity, because I was just so impressed. Like I said earlier in the show, I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, and I'm 100% in love with it. So I would talk about Divinity all day, but we've already talked about it a lot. So I just understand that I love it infinitely.
Game is incredible. Support Larian Studios. They are a good company. Please,
my favorite.
Please do not get bought out by somebody.
Please don't. Especially
Please don't
not
get
EA.
bought out by EA.
Oh God, please! Oh my God, yeah, I can see it now. Microtransaction for
You want
characters
to
and
do 4-player
interactions.
co-op? That's an extra $20.
My number 1. Everybody knows this number 1. It is It is the game of the year. Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. That game, just there's nothing I could say that hasn't already been said about that game. The amount of work that went into this masterpiece, it is so freeform. You don't have to do anything. Yeah, I've seen people beat the game without getting any more hearts. I've seen people collect everything and then beat the game. I've seen people just ignore things and beat the game. You can collect all. I don't know. There's just so many options in the game. Hell, you don't even have to get the Master Sword if you don't want to. Everything is just great. It's a great game. It is fantastic, and it is a masterpiece at what it is. So if you do not own it or have not played it, play it.
It's a beautiful game.
Yes.
Hands down, a
It's very
beautiful
pretty.
game.
Yep.
And I think, to me, though I haven't played through as much as y'all have, it's a very pretty game. But to me, it shows you what the Switch can do.
Yes. Yes.
I can agree with that.
You know, and the fact that Nintendo in general is able to put that game on a little thing this big is just ridiculous to me. It's just ridiculous, but it's so good.
yes. So good.
Is that yours number one as well, Baka?
Yep.
Oh, you guys are so cute.
Well, I do want to say, out of all of our lists, we have to give a little praise to the Switch this year. They did really well. Came out with a lot of fucking great games. I think this was Nintendo's year, and we'll see if they can carry on into next year. So kudos, Nintendo. You did a wonderful job this year.
And I think, and you know, it's an underpowered console. So the good thing about it is they figured out this is our niche. And they've had the mobile market down for a long time when it came to the 3DS, 2DS, Game Boy before that. They've figured out the mobile market that's on there. So now if you can combine the two of them, give us decent graphics, be able to make it to where it's portable at the same time, Nintendo's doing exactly what they need to do. And now the only thing we have to do is take classic games, put them onto these systems, and
have everything.
yeah, we'll have it available to us. We'll be like, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
You're going to give us a Nintendo 64 controller, too, that I can hook up to my Switch? All right, I'll buy it. It's like, whatever.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
Whatever you get, I'll go buy it. I mean, think of the classic retro game and gaming systems they've come out with. I mean, it's like you got these little minis, and all of us are like, oh, let's go buy one. There's only 6 in a store in your entire town, but, you know.
Well, those are all the things that we really enjoyed about this year. There's got to be at least one thing each that we can think of that was kind of a disappointment from this year too, though.
For me, it's Battlefront 2. Hands down.
That is so shocking.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. Battlefront
nobody.
2, hands down, is... I'm a big Star Wars fan. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I'm a big Star Wars fan, and, you know, and I love the original Battlefront games. I played the last one that came out. And I enjoyed the gameplay a lot. I just didn't like a lot of the stuff they had done with it. The fact that they were adding a campaign into this one got me really excited. And then I held back from buying it because of the last game. Held back from buying it. I'm glad I did. And then the bullshit that came along with this game is just ridiculous. And there's a petition now that Disney, that people are trying to get Disney to drop the licensing with EA. And I fucking hope they do it. Woo.
It would be
I
nice.
really hope they
would
do
be
it.
Really nice.
There are
Because-
plenty of other companies that can do better in the Star Wars universe.
Yes.
Guaranteed.
Shit, hand it to a Microsoft one or hand it to a Sony property. I don't care. Like, I don't care if it's a console exclusive. I just want good games in a universe that I love.
Yep.
You know, Griff and I had a discussion not too long ago where one of the things that, you know, she was talking about was that you could take all the religious part of the game and all of the character part of the game and stick them in any universe you want. But the thing is with our particular game, with our particular Star Wars universe, there is a lore that's there. It's very similar to the World of Warcraft and stuff like that. You've got a lore and everything that goes with it. And there's elements that we want to see. Knights of the Old Republic is the last game that I played hours and hours again. And Knights of the Old Republic and Knights of the Old Republic 2 were both great games. That's what I want. I want to be able to sit down and enjoy and play a game. EA's destroying my childhood. Fuck all the people that were bitching about the new movie. Go look at EA. They're destroying damn good games.
Yes, they are.
They forget that games are supposed to be fun. Yes, it's a business. Make them fun first.
Yep.
All right, that was
Otherwise,
my
people are
disappointment.
not going to buy it. I mean,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now we know what Baka and Oak have been disappointed about. What about you, Chicken? What were you disappointed in?
My disappointment was For Honor.
Oh, it had such potential.
And it still has potential. First of all, I have to say, Ubisoft, like, you guys are coming back. I mean, Rainbow Six they released 3 years ago is now
They're still supporting it.
like one of the best games, best multiplayer games. Like, good shit. I mean, The Division they're supporting heavily. This EA wants to do what Ubisoft's doing. They want to create shit, I can't think of the term for it, but they want to create games. Games as a service. They have these games, and they are service. They have DLC. They have microtransactions. But you don't need any of that. It's all cosmetic in every universe. My problem with For Honor, though, is I was so stoked for it, and everybody kept saying, if you're going to make a game like this, dedicated servers. Jesus, you need to have dedicated servers for a game that relies on millisecond inputs.
Yes.
Because, I mean, someone could hit it before you do, and then they kill you because your ping is a little higher than theirs. So, I mean, I played the shit out of it. I think I put like 100 and something hours in it right away, and then I just fell off there. The Peacekeeper, fuck that thing forever, fuck it forever. I don't ever want to see it again.
They didn't balance it very well.
Holy shit, there's never been anything in any other game as OP as that thing. Fuck that thing, forever banned.
Yeah, it did not help that in a lot of the matches where if it was just, more than just 1v1, a lot of people would just go, well, I'm a Peacekeeper, I'm just going to go up and go shank while you're fighting someone else.
Yeah. Balance was an issue.
Yeah. The 1v1s and the 2v2s were a lot of fun. When you got to the 4v4s, your talents and things like that and your gear came into play, and that was okay and fine and all. But, I mean, in the 1v1s and 2v2s, none of that mattered. The gear that you equipped just made yourself look a little different. Other than that, no stats and nothing really counted. So, but I mean,
one of the things that we bragged about when that game came out, and I think that showed a lot about the game, because there's a lot of times that gamers are just total shitheads, and a lot of times. But one of the things that was impressive, and Chicken was the one that actually brought it up, and I thought it was pretty impressive too, because I saw the same thing happen. Is when you go into a multiplayer match and you had a 1v1 situation, it might be a 4v4 total, but a 1v1 situation, there were people that just stand aside and wait for that battle to end, and then decide to get in, because honor was actually a part of the thing. And I thought it was so brilliant that people were doing that, because to be fair, I liked watching it. I liked can my buddy, handle that? Can he not? What's going on? And it also made you, as a player, try to decide what you needed to do next. So it was really cool to watch on that. And Ubisoft had a good idea. They just needed to implement it, and the storyline was good. I liked playing through the campaign. I thought it was great.
Pretty good too.
Yeah, introduced the gameplay for all three styles that were available to you.
Yeah.
And so it was really well done, and unfortunately, I see where that disappointment goes in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, after a while, 4v4 became everyone move as a 4-man squad, decimate one person, and then go to the next person, decimate them.
Yeah, that became very, very unfun with the Zerg tactics. They would just rush you, kill you, move on to the next person. Rush you, kill you, move on to the next one. It's like, yeah, this is a lot of fun. But the 1v1s and 2v2s are where the game really made it for me, especially the 2v2s. Killing your opponent and then going to stand next to your partner, waiting for him to finish off, and then you get into it, or waiting for him to kill his opponent. Just a lot of fun.
I love that part. We need to do that more when the dedicated servers come up, Chicken.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, my disappointment wasn't necessarily something that came out. My biggest disappointment was something that didn't come out. Scalebound got canceled this year. It looked so good. It looked like it was gonna be so fun, and then they canceled it like in the summer at some point. I was just really, really sad, and I've never really bounced back from that.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Why did they have to do that?
It was such a disappointment. It looked so cool.
It was in May when they canceled it.
Early summer.
It was actually late spring.
I was super sad that we will never get to know what it would be like to, ride dragons into battles with our friends.
Have a pet dragon.
With our headphones on.
Well, take it or leave it
There's
on that one, but...
a couple of games on PS2 that I have where you actually get a dragon like that. And you can ride them and...
Play with your
Are those
friends.
things
It's
that
like
we can play
Drakengard
right
or
now
something
as a
like that?
group? Is it?
Do you get to do that in Monster Hunter?
No.
I mean, you
Okay.
can jump on the back and stab them, but it's not quite the same.
Okay. Just checking.
Instead of ending on a disappointing note, we're gonna talk about things that we're looking forward to kind of finish up for the year and look forward to next year. So
Okay.
what are some things that we are looking forward to in 2018?
Do we want to do it like, what are 2 games you're going to buy next year?
Yeah, I'd do it that way.
Okay, what are 2 games you're going to buy next year?
Day one release. Day one
one.
release.
Okay.
Sea of Thieves
Okay.
Yeah.
and Biomutant.
Oh.
Those are my 2.
Okay, then.
Sea of Thieves and Biomutant. I got a chance to play a little bit of Biomutant at the THQ Nordic. I really believe in what TH Nordic is doing, and the fact that they are embracing the different elements, the THQ element and the Nordic element, and they're pushing this stuff out. You know, we were talking earlier about Titan Quest. It's one of those where I want to put as much money into that company as I can, just because I believe in what they're doing.
Right.
And then, of course, Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves, to me, just what Rare is doing with this game and what we've been told about this game and what I've seen of the game from PAX and other things, it's one of those where I feel like as you could just put as much time into it as you want. You can casually play it if you want. You not, and I think that, you know, I mean, fuck, you become a pirate. You
Yeah.
know? And it's like,
what game do you not want that?
you know, you go
Come
out,
on.
you're out on your ship or whatever, and you know, go treasure hunting if you want to, go kill other pirates if you want to, whatever it is, you know. It's like you become a pirate, and the graphics are cartoon. You get what you get. It's a rare game. So when you got that rare game, their art style is perfect for the game that they've set up, and I'm really looking forward to that. And that's in what, March 30th?
March 20th.
March 20th.
March 20th, first day buy. That one's definitely on my list too. Looks like a lot of fun. I hope you said it all already. My other game that I'm going to be buying day one is going to be Vermintide 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
this
you're
list.
doing 2 multiplayers.
Yes. I like multiplayers. It's fun to play with friends, folks.
Is Biomutant multiplayer?
No.
Biomutant is not.
Okay.
It's single
It's
I
single
wasn't
player.
sure if everybody was going to pick multiplayer games except for me.
No. With Biomutant, it's going to be more like, I guess, like Darksiders
Dragon
or
Age?
something like that. Yeah, Dragon Age. Well,
Yeah.
not really Dragon Age.
It's probably going to be
Single
more
player
like...
story game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
single player story game.
Okay,
But
sorry.
Vermintide 2, I love Fat Shark. They deserve my money. They did so fucking good
They deserve
with
my money.
Vermintide. The biggest issue with my biggest issue with Vermintide is the end game. Like, I mean, yeah, it's fun to go ahead and beat those levels, but trying to grind for loot just gets...
Vermintide's free on Xbox right now, by the way.
Buy it. If you do not own it, buy it.
The
Or
game's with
just
gold
get it.
right now. Go
Just
get it.
But it is super
totally recommend
fucking
it.
good, and the end gets a little grindy, and that's fine. But they've said that they've completely restructured their loot system. They have RPG elements for the classes now. You still have
Oh, wow.
your same 5 people, but every person has 3 separate classes that they can play as. Like the dwarf has his tank form, his 2-hander form, and 2 1-hander forms. So you can
That's cool.
play it however you want to play. There's now the chaos. Like, there's so much more to this game. Like, this is huge.
We definitely need it. You know, Baka and you and I, we all played through it one time, a couple levels or whatever, because I was trying to get into it, and I really enjoyed that part of it. I've went back and tried to play by myself. Not as fun.
No.
It's okay. Like, it's still great to hear the other characters talk and do stuff like that, but it's not
It's
as
a
fun.
multiplayer thing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's like Left 4
not
Dead.
like playing Left 4 Dead by yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
Exactly. But, yeah, the game is incredible. And that one comes out January 26th, if I'm not mistaken. That is a first day buy for me. I will definitely be picking that one up in January. Monster Hunter was supposed to come out that same day, but it's delayed for PC, so I'm
I think
getting
till
Vermintide.
like June.
Is it? Yeah, I'm not worried
Yeah.
about that one for a while, but Vermintide and Sea of Thieves, 2 first day buys for me, hands down.
Awesome.
I'm glad that you guys know the release dates for yours, because the 2 on my list don't have release dates. They just have 2018.
Well,
And one of my day one buys is one that I had intended to be a day one buy this year and then got pushed back to next year, and I'm still super pumped about it. Detroit Become Human will be
Ooh.
purchased as soon as it is available. Super excited. And I didn't expect to have something that was going to be a multiplayer thing, because I've been so single player.
Mhm.
But this one I just have to buy, because Chicken and I have to play it. A Way Out.
Ooh.
We're gonna buy that day one, probably stream it. It's gonna be crazy.
A Way Out.
I'm gonna shoot people.
Gotta get
You're
away.
gonna try to
No,
stop me, but it's
stop
not gonna
shooting
happen.
pe- Stop shooting people.
I
Griff,
can't.
Stop shooting people.
I
Come
have
on
to.
now. Stop shooting people. We don't need to kill the guards. Just
It
Come
looks
on.
so fun though.
yes, it's gonna
I'm
be a lot
excited,
of
and
fun.
I want to see the story develop with that one too.
Yes. Keep an eye out for the VODs or the stream when it comes out, because we will definitely be
Yes.
streaming it.
What about you, Baka? What are you buying?
Vermintide, and I don't think they have a release date yet for Metroid, so I went with Monster Hunter.
Fair enough.
Because I think, they don't have, like, even, like, well, it's going to be in 2018 or anything for Metroid, so I was like, well, I don't know when it's coming out, so...
For the Metroid for the Switch?
Yeah.
It's going to be 2018, along with the Nintendo game for console, or the Pokemon game for the Nintendo Switch. That they were saying.
Everything I was reading was like, it's just going to be out at some point.
Eventually.
Because I remember how during the whole thing they were talking about how their lineup for this year was incredible, and then he said at some point, and then next year you have a new Pokemon game for the main console and a new Metroid game for the console coming out next year.
Maybe that's theoretically. It's not confirmed.
Yeah, maybe it's not confirmed, but...
It's going to be important to keep the Switch alive. They need to get those big titles out there so that they can keep interest, because, I mean, Bayonetta's going to sell consoles, Pokemon's going to sell consoles, Metroid's going to sell consoles.
Definitely buying Metroid.
I'm definitely buying Bayonetta.
I want to play with the Pokemon game, because it's going to be the first one on the console.
Oh,
that's not like Battle Arena or, whatever.
Well,
Right.
to be fair, Pokemon Gale Darkness was pretty close to being a full Pokemon game on the console. Gale Darkness.
Yeah, but it wasn't quite there.
No, not really, but it's as close as we've gotten. Anyway, I still have a huge list of games that I'm looking forward to that we won't get into, but 2018 is shaping up to be a good year for games.
Hopefully it stays that way. Hopefully
Hopefully
we don't have some of the mistakes that we had this year, but we'll see.
Yes.
So.
Maybe 2015 and 2016, 2017 have been iffy years. Let's hope for 2018 to be better.
What is the thing you're most worried about for 2018?
Ooh.
Me, personally, because they've been talking about it and they say that it's in motion, and I'm worried that they're going to try to push it out by the end of next year, Dragon Age 4, or whatever they call the next Dragon Age. I know they're already working on it, and I know the bad things that have been happening, and I don't want to be disappointed. I don't. I'm afraid.
Fair enough.
So.
Chicken?
I guess the WoW one, Battle for Azeroth. I think it's going to be kind of hard to follow up on Legion, because I mean a lot of flack has been given to WoW for all of their expansions since Wrath of the Lich King have been meh, and then this one was like fucking
really
incredible, and then you've got to try and hopefully get to that fucking incredible again, otherwise it's just going to be downhill.
The cinematic alone should.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
Well,
I'm ready.
You don't want that to be the letdown, right? Like you do the cinematic's awesome.
The thing with the new one is, like, with all the other ones, we're always like, the next one is like, okay, this is the big bad dude we're going to be dealing with, and then it just kind of continued from there. And then this one, it doesn't really feel like there's going to be any kind of
The big bad is the opposing faction.
Yeah, it's going back to like faction war, basically. I mean,
I like it though.
Yep.
It's Warcraft. We're supposed to be at war. None of this holding hands pansy bullshit anymore.
Tell him, Griff. Tell him.
Yeah,
Tell him how you
they could
feel.
have
Get
like
'em.
everyone skipping through the meadows and with Happy Together singing in the background, and then
No.
some horde will probably trip someone and then start a fight.
I will just make it look like the horde tripped somebody and started the fight, and then I will initiate our side of the fight, because fuck those guys. We're not
Well, then,
friends.
see, that makes
We
you
should
look like
never
the
have
bad
been
guy.
friends.
You should just let the horde incriminate themselves, because with Sylvanas in charge, eventually they will.
That's true. What about you, Oak? What are you worried about? I know we're like hour and a half already, so.
Anthem.
Yeah, that's concerning.
Yeah, I mean, with everything that's happened with Battlefront, and then, of course, Andromeda is the last time we really had to deal with BioWare.
Those BioWare and EA better really fucking learn some shit right now.
Yeah, I just Anthem, and I get it. It's supposed to, people were calling it the Destiny killer, basically.
Don't call games that.
No.
Everything that was a WoW killer failed, so stop
Yeah.
calling games killers.
I don't say fail. I say did not succeed as much as they could have.
If you want it to be
Right.
successful, don't say that it's going to kill out another game.
Yes.
Yeah,
Competition.
I just have a feeling that they're going to end up putting these microtransactions into the game, or it's not going to sell well. It might be a decent game, but it's not. People are going to be boycotting EA basically because of what happened to Battlefront, and what happened to Andromeda. They need to do the same thing Ubisoft did with Assassin's Creed. They need to turn around and reevaluate everything that's been going on, and then flipping on its head and going, "This is what we need to do with this," because they've lost.
They've got to knock it out of the park.
At least 3 people have dropped off of that project.
A lot more than 3 people. BioWare's been losing a lot of people lately.
Yeah.
A lot of their head people are gone.
Yeah, people that have been there. And to be fair, some of them been there for like 17 to 20 years. So it's like, all right, maybe they want to retire or whatever.
But you think
some
that
of
they
them
would want to
take other
retire
jobs.
after their big project? They'd be like, yay, finish our giant baby, and then we get to move on. Instead, it's like we're getting off the boat before this shit crashes again. So
yeah.
Well, and I think a lot of that has to do with the pressure from EA. If I were BioWare, if you end up with another issue like that, I would figure out a way to get away from EA. I just would. I know that they're...
The only thing that they could probably do is, like, everyone there quit and go start their own company.
Yes.
Which I
maybe
assume they're probably trying to do now. I mean, you get these great developers out on their own and without a publisher. In this day and age, being an indie company is probably one of the greatest things you can do, because you're artistic freedom. Yeah, and you have ways to raise money. Your fans will help you. You're free to do what you want, create what you want. Well, that's
the reason people are worried about Respawn, too, because you had, a lot of those guys came from Infinity Ward with Activision. And so they ended up forming their own company, and then they ended up getting taken over by EA. So it's like, it's like they're worried about the same type of thing, and it's like, BioWare needs to put the foot down a little bit and say, look, we know how to make good games. Look at the games we've sold for you before. Put trust in us. We'll make you money. Mm-hmm. We're going to make you money. Because I hate this trend of people going, there's single-player games aren't going to do anything. Wrong. THQ Nordic is going to end up making a damn whole lot of money because that's all they really make.
Oh, yeah. They're just making they are pushing out so many games. Darksiders 3 next year. Biomutant next year. All of these little... I keep seeing fucking ads for Spellforce 3. Good gracious. It's everywhere. I've seen this couple streamers play. It looks really fun, too. But, I mean, THQ is just literally putting them on the door and booting them out. Putting them on the door and booting them out. One after another. I don't know where the hell they have all these people working from, but good damn.
And you get a game, and you get a game, and you get a game, and you get a game.
Pretty much. They are just, popping out games in all genres. They're like, we got everything you want. We got it. You want it.
You want an RPG style game? 3 of you there.
Yeah, it's just crazy what THQ Nordic is doing. Definitely need to invest in that company.
Yep,
yes.
For sure. Is that it? Anything else?
Yes, we need to get out of here. I realize what time it is and how long we've been here, so.
It was. But it was the end of the year. We've got...
Yep.
Yeah, so we won't be back until January sometime. So everybody have a happy holidays and a great new year. We'll start off with that. We do appreciate everybody that hangs out with us each and every week in Infinite Respawn. As always, you can check us out on Twitter at InfiniteResPC. You can check me out personally at NimDBOtree. You can check out Griff.
At GriffSlinum.
Check out Baka.
At Baka Pickle.
Check out Chicken.
Italy Chicken 3 with 3.
Swapped it up a little. All right.
This is the first time you've ever swapped it up.
Also, make sure you go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Infinite Respawn. Go on there, watch the videos that we have on there that are some old Let's Plays, as well as some awesome music videos that Griff put together. And, of course, you can watch the video version of our podcast as well. And then also go to InfiniteRespawn.com. Go on there, join the forums, and hang out. For Infinite Respawn, I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Griff.
Baka not gonna go before me?
What? Fine, I'm Baka.
And I'm
now
Chicken.
You go.
See ya.
Bye.
Messing up the order of things.
That was me. That was him. Oh, that was him over there.
Bye. Jeez,
Bye.
leave.
Please hang up and try again.